Okay, hello wealthy family. Welcome to today's video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Today is going to be a bit of a repeat for me because your girl upgraded, and yesterday I recorded my whole video with no audio. So I'm going to re-record this video today, and time permitting, maybe I'll do the topic that I wanted to do for today as well and upload. Okay, so today I want to talk about your spiritual senses. Just like how you have physical senses, just like how you have taste and sight and hearing and touch, you have spiritual senses as well. And I learned about my spiritual senses from Brock Proctor, one of my mentors. So thankful for him. And I'm going to condense all that he taught me into a short video, and then of course I'll put my spin on it as well. So your first spiritual sense is perception. How you perceive things, how you experience things. You and I could be in the same room, seeing the same things, hearing the same things, and have a different recollection, there we go, of the encounter, right? And that's because the way my mind is developed is different from the way your mind is developed. So you are going to interpret or perceive things different. So when you understand that perception is a spiritual sense, you let go of the desire to bicker with people who may not quite get what it is that you get, because their mind, their mentality is formed different. Their perception is different, okay? The second spiritual sense is your will. And to me, it is the most important one. Because if you've ever heard of where there's a will, there's a way, or you have willpower, that's exactly what it is. Your will is your power. How badly do you want it? You've heard people say he no longer had the will to go on. He no longer had the will to be with so and so, right? That's because it's your force, it's your life force, it's the gasoline for your tank, right? For your spiritual body, for your spiritual car if you want, right? Your will gives you the desire, the oomph that you need to get things going, to get things out there, to go after what it is that you want, right? To get the full Monty, if you will, right? That's what your willpower does. So without willpower, without a will, there is no way. And the reason why there's a will, there's a way, is because the universe responds to your energy. So if you have the willpower, if you have the want or the desire to really get something, you're going to put all your attention, your energy, your mind, your body, your soul into accomplishing those things. You're building that momentum into it. So the universe is going to yield the results to you. You all have been practicing this for all your life, and you probably never even knew that, right? That's what your will is. That's where it comes from. That is the gusto for you, okay? Now, your third spiritual sense, and I did a whole video about this, about your imagination, right? Let's imagine. But with your imagination, it allows you to get a clear visual of whatever it is that you desire, okay? Whatever it is that you wish to manifest. Your imagination is great for visualizations as well. If you ever seen children just imagining and playing, you can't tell them that what they're imagining isn't real. You cannot tell them that that cardboard box is not a fort with a fortified moat around it, okay? With gargoyles protecting it. You cannot tell that child that that's not what they're living right now, because that's what they see. As a child, as a Pisces, and as a child, I used to daydream so much. I used to imagine so much. And sometimes the things that I would imagine or that I would daydream about would come into my reality. And I'd be wondering, well, great, I just thought about this and here it is, right? My greatest vivid imagination manifestation is I wanted to go to Islands of Adventures. And my mom, she travels, and she's like, I'm not going to no roller coaster. Mind you, we lived in Miami. Islands of Adventure is here in Orlando. And my mom was like, I'm not taking you up there. And I was like, I really want to go on this trip. She was like, well, I don't have the money to send you with who's going, so oh well. And I sat down, I went in my room, and I was just like, oh, I go on the roller coaster and go, whatever it is that I did. And then the next day, the person I was coordinating the trip was like, hey, we have an extra spot and we have the money. If Chanel would like to go, then she can come. And there it is. I was there, right? Just things like that. Again, been doing it our whole lives and didn't know that's part of our spiritual body. It's part of our spiritual senses. So if you have a vivid imagination, you can have a vivid life. Because just like in the words of my mentor, Bob Proctor, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. How bad do you want to vividly imagine the things that you desire? If you're looking for a new car and you have a car now, or even if you don't have a car now, if you have a car now, while you're driving it, imagine you're driving in the car that you so desire. If you don't have a car, go into meditation and visualize yourself driving that car. That's all it is, right? Your imagination. Imagine. All right, just imagine I have a rainbow going between my hands when I do that. All right, your fourth, we're on 4, spiritual sense is your memory. I had to remember what number we were on. So we were all born with perfect memories, okay? And as life goes on, as we grow and develop, our memory can grow or it can dwindle. There have been people who I've spoken to who know that their parents and their grandparents had memory issues. They may have had dementia or Alzheimer's, and they made it their duty to do memory exercises and to take certain supplements like ginkgo biloba to ensure that their memory stayed intact, right? To be sure that their memory could improve. Doing exercises is meant to build a muscle, and your memory is your spiritual muscle. You can remember things from a long time ago, okay? You can remember things from a long time ago if you just so choose, if you make the conscious decision to do that, okay? Your 5th spiritual sense is your intuition. So your intuition is in your gut, okay? That's where it sits. And your intuition will guide you if you allow it. And the more you trust it, the more stronger it becomes. That's how you build your intuition, by trusting yourself. If you walk into a room and you get a knot in your stomach and you're like, man, I can't, follow that. If you look at something and it looks weird, it gives you the heebies, follow that. If you speak to someone and their vibe is off, follow that. Your intuition is talking to you. That's your spiritual second mind saying to you, alert, alert, alert. Because it can perceive things that you cannot. It can pick up on things that you cannot. And when you start trusting and following that, it allows you to grow. All right, let me get him before he knocks over my, sorry. All right, come on, Shadow. Okay, stop. If you all saw me averting my eyes, that's what I was looking at, because he was doing all types of crazy stuff. That's my kitten, Shadow. He's so beautiful. Okay, where were we? Intuition. Okay, so yeah, so that's your intuition, your second mind. It sits in your gut, right? And as you allow your intuition to guide you, even if it doesn't make sense, like the other day I called my grandfather. It didn't make sense, and it made no sense why I was calling him and asking him this. But I thought about something and I was like, who could tell me? And I called my grandfather and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So I said, all right, no biggie. A couple hours later, he called me and said, you know the thing that you called me about earlier? I saw it. I found it. I know what you're talking about now. Right? But if I didn't follow my intuition to call him, he would have thrown the thing away that I was calling him about. You get it? Right? It made no sense. He had no idea what I was talking about. But a couple of hours later, here it is. Okay? So follow your intuition. Even if it makes no sense, follow your intuition. Okay? All right. And 6, we're on the last spiritual sense, which is your reasoning. Where is your sense of reasoning? Right? People don't realize that these senses that they have, or these things that they exhibit, is part of their spirituality. And if your spiritual senses are out of whack, your spiritual body is going to be out of whack. Okay? So your sense of reasoning, the thing that causes many people to bicker and go back and forth and see my side of things and carry on, is their spiritual body showing an imbalance, and they're probably working from their ego. Okay? If you ever heard someone say, there's no reasoning with him, he's just too far gone, there's no reasoning with her, they just can't get it. If you've seen that, if you've heard that or experienced that before, you can tell that that person's completely shut off. Their spiritual body, they're not even thinking about that. Okay? It's not even in their vortex. It's not even in their mind to think about their spiritual nature. But when you understand how reasoning works, okay, when you understand that when you try to reason with someone, it's not a matter of persuasion. It's just a matter of, see my point of view, I see your point of view, and I see how we both came to this conclusion. I understand what you're saying, and I'm going to let it be. You don't have to agree, but you can come to some sort of reasoning or resolution peacefully, like spiritual beings, right? In a higher nature. That's all it is. Okay? So even though these are spiritual senses, you can see them manifest in the physical. If you see someone with schizophrenia or bipolarism or ready to be angry at everything, right? Their spiritual senses is out of whack. Their mentality is out of whack. All right? So I just wanted to get that out there to you guys. I was led to be sure that this information was solidified in video format. I thank you all for sharing some time with me today. I'm going to go get this uploaded, and hopefully I have time to do my next video. But until next time, wealthy family, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace.